podcast. We're just kind of a group of college kids that talk about really all of our interests and whatever's going on in our lives, anything from sports to Marvel to really anything going on. Actually, I would like to start off by saying that we need to do a round of applause because this is episode number 25 and our podcast can officially rent a car.
Let's go, baby. We out here. We can't
almost.
even
We are coming for you.
Okay.
Okay.
My ears hurt. So being that we are all college kids here, we actually kind of wanted to do an episode on college. As weird as that sounds, we've kind of talked about our college experience briefly throughout some of the episodes, but we kind of wanted to just really get into what college is for us at least. Justin, if you wanted to kind of start us off, because I know you got a lot to say.
Yeah, we got a lot to say here. I mean, we joked about it before the pod, but we have a lot to say because we are college kids. So we can speak on it a lot. Our experience, I think, is all a little bit weird because of COVID. But I almost think that because our first year was so weird with COVID, I feel like a lot of the lessons I learned of college happened in my sophomore year. But I was also more mature, so I feel like I understand it more. I don't know, I'm able to better reflect on it because it's sophomore year where we learned a lot of that stuff. I think all of our first in-person class was sophomore year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone go to an in-person class? Yeah. Nope. So I remember my residents being going to their first class before I went to mine because I think school started on a Friday and we didn't have labs. So my first class happened at 12. My first in-person class happened at 12. And then a bunch of people I knew, including freshmen, were already at their first class at 9 a.m. I was man, this
they
feels
started
weird.
An actual college experience before I did. Tough.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to start off with is just kind of talking about what our impressions were going into college, because that is a good place to start, because anybody who's listening to this pod hasn't been to college, or even if you're older and you graduated college or whatnot, we all had things that we thought college was going to be, and they turned drastically different. So I just want to feel a pulse in the room. What was everyone thinking going into college? Mind you, COVID not included. We couldn't factor in what COVID
you can't really
was going to do. But
at least for me, it was really weird because I didn't really have any true expectations of what college was, because I had literally no idea what it was going to be like. Because obviously you have some media where it's movies and stuff that kind of explain some aspects of college, but it's just so vastly different from what college actually is that it just gives you such a horrible expectation where it's you're partying every day, you never go to class, it's people are jumping off of buildings, it's Project X, that's all it is. But yes, I have, and that is another representation about how it's you're all going to be football players, you're just going to be it's crazy.
I thought high school was going to be That's Declassified. School Survival Guide, and it just isn't anything
it just was not at all. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing, is because you kind of have all of these, you get the fun parts pushed on you, but you don't get actual college pushed on you at all. So my expectations were just I don't really know what to expect, because I know it's not everything that I've learned it's supposed to be, but I guess I'm just going to go in and see what happens. Because that was kind of my MO. I was I don't really have any expectations. I'm just going to kind of see how it goes. And it ended up being even more different than that because of a certain virus. But, never know.
Thank God we can't get demonetized. Remember when people were getting demonetized for talking about COVID?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Well,
that's wild.
We would have to get monetized. We would have to be making money for the podcast also. So
that's
You know what? That's a really good point.
Yeah,
that's a really good point.
Can't get demonetized if we're not monetized.
Yeah, make sure you drop a like, please. Anything helps.
Yeah.
Let's put ads on and make them watch the ads all the way through.
Exactly.
Right, Jacob? To support
We
the
can't put
side
ads on. We don't have enough.
We don't
literally
have
don't
enough.
make We don't have enough views to put ads
As a
on.
matter of fact,
This is. Wait, I need to say something. This past weekend, me and Jacob were chilling watching YouTube. A 3-minute ad pops up. We're watching the Sidemen. So Jacob has this running bit.
And Jacob made you watch the whole thing.
Yes, he watches every ad all the way through when we're watching a Sidemen video. Doesn't matter how long it is. And we watched a 3-minute plus
What a
ad
rat.
of Game of Thrones spinoff, followed by another 20-second ad, and we didn't skip either.
Gotta do it.
So yeah, for all you viewers, please do the same if you get an ad.
Yes.
We also
Please.
would totally do it more than the side men, so.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Maybe just a little bit. I mean, it's close, but
Exactly.
I hate
All right,
that.
so
College.
Liquid death.
Back into what we were thinking about college. I felt like my expectation for college was that like one of the things that just sticks out is like I thought the pressure to not show up to class was going to be like so high. Like I had always people telling me like before I went to college, like make sure you show up to your classes. Like you're not going to want to show up, but like make sure you show up. Like it's going to be really like no one shows up to class, but you need to make sure you show up or else you're not going to do well. And I've really never like skipped class just because like I felt like it. Like the only time you skip class is like if you actually have something to do or like if you know going to that class is not going to like benefit you in any way. Like I've never been like, oh man, like I was up so late last night, like I'm not going to make class this morning or anything. And that just like stuck out to me. I just remember like people before I leave, they make sure you go to class, and I'm like, I've never like had the urge to like go not like to skip class if it wasn't needed. And people show up to class all the time.
Justin.
Listen,
what are you talking
sir.
about?
Listen, sir. I didn't need to go to physics. I got A's in both semesters of physics.
Hey,
so clearly
little
didn't matter that I
flex,
didn't show up
little
to every
flex.
single physics lecture.
Justin, it's
Oh
weird
my
though. I heard
God.
like. No, go ahead.
You showed up to less physics class than me, and you did worse. So you know.
Whoa.
Whoa.
All right.
You want to talk about Orgo, buddy?
All right. And moving along. Anyways, Justin, I heard and felt the exact opposite of that. Like, I was talking with older kids before going to college, and the kids that went to college, and just like adults and stuff, and I felt like there would be a lot more freedom in that. There was no pressure to go to class. You just skip whenever. Like, if you're not feeling it, you just skip. I don't do that, but that was kind of the impression I had going into school. That like, if you want to skip, just skip it.
I would agree to an extent.
That's
I would agree to
interesting.
an extent. I feel like it also depends on like your class size, because if you're in like a lecture where there's like 200 other kids and you were to skip, it's like okay, like the teacher's probably not going to recognize it. But like if I'm in a class where there's like 20 kids or less and I skip, it'll probably be like, oh yeah, well where were you? Like what were you doing? So it's totally
Spanish, for example.
exactly. And I did skip
Bingo.
Spanish. But
Did not.
that's also an enjoyable class, you know. It was also fun to me too. But I mean, I did hear like the like people saying, yeah, definitely make sure you don't like you go to class, because like when you were in high school, like it's not really something like you even like think about, because I mean you're seeing everybody like basic, like at least for my high school experience, I knew everybody, but like in my grade, the teachers like knew it like everybody relatively well, so like you just wouldn't skip class, and you'd sound like you would really skip school either. And your parents are right there to be like, yeah, like, what are you doing? Yeah.
What
like,
are
the
you
school
doing?
could just call
Yeah.
your parents up, like, if they really wanted to, especially in high school, and be like, yo, like, where's like Jacob?
Yeah.
I
Where your kid at?
if you don't have an excused absence in high school, they just call they call you to make sure that they know your kid's
Right.
absent.
And I
so
mean,
like
Exactly.
that's how it worked at my high school. At least. So
Even from a safety aspect, it's like it makes sense. So
Mhm.
but in college, it's totally different. Like you don't have it will just affect your if they take like participation or like attendance, like a grade type grade, then you'll just be negatively impacted there. But like high school, you just you should show I feel like it's even more encouraged that you show up in high school. Because I feel like the penalties are like you see the penalties more, whereas in college they'll just be there, and like at the end of the day, like I don't know. Do you guys get what I'm saying, or do you agree with it?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In my high school, if you had 3 unexcused absences, you get a Saturday detention.
Dude, if you had one
That's-
unexcused, you got a detention.
Yeah.
What the?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Ours is 3
My
unexcused.
school is dude, one late to class and you're in detention.
Oh my
So, like-
god! It's like,
Wow.
yeah, sorry, my mom died. Yeah, detention. Sorry,
No,
can't.
that's the opposite of my high school. I guess we're talking about high school now, but like we would people would literally just like stroll in the class late, and the teacher would be like, "Why are you late?" And they'd be like, "Sorry, I was talking in the hallway," and just be like, "All right, cool." Like no problem at all.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I know mine was like kind of like somewhere in the middle where it's like obviously like almost everybody like showed up on time and like they weren't super strict about being late, but they were like it was like the rules were very obvious where it was like if you're late like X amount of times and the teacher like actually cares about it, then it's like, oh, you're gonna get in like serious trouble for that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how different that is.
Meanwhile,
but like,
they gave me detention on crutches.
That's
I was late to
tough.
class.
That's really tough.
I had
would
to wait
give you
for an
detention.
elevator.
Yeah, that's on you, bro.
Yeah, probably. yeah.
You gotta be built different.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, the funny thing about college is even if you don't like, even if you show up to class late, like no one cares. Like it's awkward. Like Raj knows, like from our physics classroom, like the only doors are in the front, so you literally have to like
So you have to walk past the professor.
Pretty much when you walk in, but like they never bat an eye. Like they don't care. They're like, oh, thankfully you showed up. Like they don't care that you're late. They're just like, thank God this student showed up. So
even in some lecture
that's
halls,
just like weird.
it's like awkward.
What?
In some lecture halls, it's like awkward. Like in Chevron.
You can just go to the top doors. Well, the top doors. That's
but like most people don't know about them. I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. But if you like do know about them, they're a perfect way to like, get in through the back. But also, like, the teacher can probably see you because like you're standing up in the back, but it's not so much so that like you're just like kind of like right up next to them. But like now, so that's been an interesting like thing just with college. Like I don't think I anticipated how classes would go. Some people were like, yeah, you can skip them, or like I used to skip class all the time, and I kind of find as a health science major that I don't really skip that many classes, and if I skip them, it's because like I have something better to do. Like if I don't have anything better to do, like Raj knows, we would sit in physics doing like nothing sometimes, and like I could have totally done, like,
I was just about to say, didn't you do the podcast like in?
Yeah, we did tier list Tuesdays like, every single Monday in physics. But like if I had nothing better to do, I just like show up. Like sometimes I think that if I just like sit there, I'll just like absorb the knowledge. Like I don't really need to pay attention. Like,
you just need to vibe in the same room.
Yeah,
exactly.
If I just vibe in physics, it'll eventually like come to me.
The ambiance soaks into your brain.
Yeah. I can't say the same for OChem, as Raj pointed out. We'll forget about that, even though I show up to every single lecture.
Meanwhile, I just did not go.
Yeah, I know, like you.
I mean,
I had the impression...
that's the thing. Go.
No, we're lost. I was saying, I had the impression going into college, too, that, like, I would always be, like, catching lunch with people and stuff. Like, I'd always be like, we should, like, grab lunch. No shot. Yeah. Like, no one's, not only do, like, all you guys, like, not use the dining hall anymore, and I'm always at the dining hall, but, like, everyone's on their own schedules.
So different.
Like, that was such a thing. Yep.
Every depiction I thought, I was like, oh, me and the boys, like, we're going to pull up to the dining hall and, like, get food and whatnot, and no, like, I eat lunch by myself, like, every single day, and I eat breakfast by myself every day, and maybe you catch dinner with someone, but, like...
It's typically on weekends.
Yeah,
like I mean like a Friday or something like that. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, at least when freshman year, when we had college light, as I like to call it, we were actually able to do that stuff and get food. But when we actually had legit college sophomore year, we were definitely not like getting meals on a daily basis or getting lunch. Yeah.
We also weren't like living together, so like we wouldn't all go to like Tower, Tower A, and like go to the dining hall and get food.
Yeah.
Like no. Like,
shout out Tower
A.
Shout out Tower A.
So like, I mean. Even freshman year, like I might like even like Justin's right next door. We would like occasionally be like, yeah, okay, you want to like grab food, but we can't eat in the dining hall. We'd have to eat in our rooms because of COVID. But like more often than not, you would just grab your like it was weird because you grab your food, you go back upstairs to your room. You'd like I would always just like eat at my desk, and it was just like not anything I would have expected. I don't know. And breakfast, like, I mean, I never really ate college breakfast.
Dude, it was too early.
I missed those potatoes.
But the potatoes, shout out those potatoes.
I missed them. Those were so good.
I don't know how y'all don't eat breakfast. Like, I wake up and I'm, like, so hungry. I, like, wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, I need to eat.
We want to, but it's just that it was too early.
You're not up by 11?
Not during the Zoom days. We were all in reverse sleep schedules.
You're not up by 11 o'clock? Absolutely not. What are you talking about?
Like, here, let's rephrase that. I'm awake at 7 because I didn't sleep.
Yeah, that's like that's like your like end of the night, like about to go to sleep.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
Thing. After you've just like beaten like Destiny's like 40-second DLC that they came out with, and you spent like $8,000 on the game by that point. So.
No, I'd be awake for occasional breakfast, but it definitely not on a daily basis because like I slept in.
Dude, I think my favorite thing was when I caught one of you guys in the dining hall when I was there for breakfast, and you were just
shocked.
Was that me?
What is he
Wait.
doing? I think I've caught everyone.
Yeah,
I think everybody at
one
point saw
same
you.
reaction, just all of us surprised. Like, what?
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing up this early? It's like, I didn't see
Raj doesn't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, I've never known him to eat breakfast before. This is weird.
He's like up
What's
this early?
on
I mean, up this late.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
I also thought dining hall would be better about college. Like,
yes.
Not like that it would be better, but like, I don't know. I just like something about the dining hall vibe. Like, I just thought it would be different and
it's a glorified cafeteria.
No.
I thought it
was I got it. So I went at my school.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't have like typically like you wouldn't have pizza or like hamburgers or hot dogs or something like standard like that you would typically want like every.
Oh, sorry, Mr.
And
Private School.
You wouldn't have
so that's why you ran for lunch.
Foods that like you would like when that was those days you would typically want that food. Like everybody would be like, okay, it's like hamburger and fries day. That would be so.
You don't mean that's every day.
Yeah, it's every day. Those are just like the everyday ones.
Like I go to college and like I was expecting the food. Like I've always heard that college food is typically not going to be that great. And that people typically don't have a meal plan their second, year or their sophomore year of college. So I was going in with that expectation. I was also like kind of thinking, okay, it's going to be cool to be able to have like a hamburger and fries or like pizza like majority of the days. But at the same time, it's just like it gets so old, and it just wasn't good. So I kind of went in with expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what it's like going to a public school. This is what we dealt with like for 4 years before going to college.
And we're talking about our college experience, so I'm sure.
Oh, so you think you're better than us?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
Okay.
We had
part of the bourgeoisie. All right. Sorry.
I'm assuming. I want to say most schools in Louisiana would probably have red beans and rice like every Monday because that's just something standard. But like,
that's crazy.
Interesting. That sounds really good.
Were the beans good? Because cafeteria beans in Jersey.
Fan of it, and we just if you're having it every single like Monday, it's just gonna be old. Like you're just gonna be like, oh, what's for lunch today? Oh yeah, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Like wow, that sucks.
Were the beans good though? Objectively.
Yes, they were like okay, but you can just definitely get better. Like you just can.
All right.
They're totally not good.
So they were
like that's just
anyway.
that was one of my expectations for food. And then also I was kind of wondering if I would just pack on like freshman 15, but like,
yeah,
but like,
that's a good one.
Like, I don't know if COVID had an impact on it, but like it just didn't happen. Like I have a very fast metabolism, but like I also like maybe because it wasn't like there wasn't like a somewhat set time you'd be going down to the dining hall. Like we all did have different schedules, but like since there wasn't a set time you'd be going down to the dining hall, like maybe it's like just impacted like the time I get lunch or something like that. So then no freshman 15. Your thoughts?
Yeah,
I can't say the same.
15 is something that is so weird to me though, because like, Andres, did that happen to you? Is that what you're insinuating?
It did happen to me, but
you were a
it wasn't
15?
like,
Really?
but it wasn't like a but it wasn't a purely bad 15. Like it's because I started.
That's what Andres. That's what I was gonna say. That like you don't like at all look like you put on a freshman 15.
Yeah.
The freshman 15 is like getting round.
It's
only bad
an asterisk.
Yeah,
it's freshman 15
the way.
Asterisk.
Yeah,
asterisk.
The way that it's described, a freshman 15 is like getting a beer gun.
Yeah.
And it's like, or like it's like that, and it's like I haven't met a soul that has happened to, at all.
Yeah,
I don't know who that happened to. It definitely wasn't anybody I interacted with. And I don't know if that's just because like we all go to the gym, kind of, but like even like our other friends, it's like no, that never happened to like anybody. And maybe it was COVID because it was like harder to get food. But like, I don't even know how.
I think my big theory is I think because social media exists, people are more concerned about their image. So because all the people that talk about the freshman 15 are like our parents.
Yes.
And social media wasn't that big when our parents went to college, so they didn't get to like see each other like depicted online. So then they weren't really concerned about their image that much because like you could hide it with clothes or like everyone was getting the freshman 15. But now I think that like people don't want to, like, people know they can't put on 15 pounds of just like pure like gut because like they're like, oh man, like people are gonna see I look bad. And like I don't know, I feel like that's like kind of the seed about it because like I really don't hear about anyone who gets the freshman 15. And people people would joke about like, oh, don't get the freshman 15. I went into college like, of course I'm not going to get the freshman 15. Like I was not concerned about it at all.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, all like the people of like our parents' generation were all like talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you like that would never happen. And like I just don't. There's some people that you can be like, okay, maybe they put on like a little bit of weight, but like not like 15 pounds of weight.
And like the whole thing is like, yeah, like 15 pounds of like nothing but like, I guess that would just be fat. Like in that short of a time frame is like crazy. Like that is insane to do that.
Yeah. No, I need to rephrase.
That is waking up, pounding beers, going to the dining hall, pounding more beers, not working out,
eating fatty foods.
You don't drink water. It's only
beer.
Carbonated bread water.
Yeah, exactly.
What you are drinking. It's just carbs, just nonstop throughout yeast into the body.
Straight yeast.
Like, yeah, yeast.
Automatic.
You don't walk anywhere. You take any form of transportation that like does not require any sort of exercise whatsoever.
Yeah.
Walk to class.
You wear the white tee to the dining hall with the like spaghetti stain on it.
Yes, exactly. That's what I had in my head. No, and I'm gonna rephrase to clarify. I did not gain the freshman 15, but I gained 15, but not the freshman 15. That's yeah.
Like I put.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like I went
not
to the gym and stuff. Right. It was like yeah, not the freshman 15.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's the thing.
A healthy 15.
But that's why I'm so like I don't know why that was like stressed so much though by our parents.
Yeah,
you're right, Justin. It is our like. I remember like vividly. It was like my friend's mom was saying something about.
No,
that.
it's always it's not your actual parents.
Yes, exactly.
Like your parents' friends who don't know you.
Yes, it's like my friend's mom said something like that, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you know, you're gonna be drinking all that beer. You're gonna put on the freshman 15." I was like, "What? What does that even mean?"
No, it's so true because I've had like you'll go over to see like your parents' friends and like maybe they've got kids you're hanging out whatever. And like, hey, like when you go to college, like you gotta watch out not to put on that freshman 15. Like happened to my husband, and you know look how he's ended up and like whatnot. And you're just like, what? Like
what is that?
And you go to college. Like I've had people go home and be like, oh, you look great. Like you're coming back from college. I'm like, of course. Like I have better access to the gym.
Yeah.
Like I usually just ate like not my mom. Like my mom was a great cook. Like cooked a lot of meals for us. But like I can completely control what I eat.
Mm-hmm.
Which like if you make good decisions, that can be a good thing. So like if better access to the gym and like your schedule. Like we forget like when you go to high school, you're locked in high school from like 8 a.m. to like 3 p.m. and maybe 5 p.m. if you have sports.
Yeah,
like
I was just about to say,
you might be able to go work out before class starts or go work out like between two classes and get away with it. But like, I feel like it's easier. I feel like it's almost easier to work out in college, and you have like as much as like the dining hall is not great. Like you can like if you just limit how much you put in. Like they have options and they have like salads and stuff if you want.
And I feel like now
eat healthy,
especially is that there's a lot more options for healthier food. Like maybe back in the day it was more of just like, oh, kind of eat whatever. But now like obviously after like everybody's like, maybe we should eat a little bit healthy. There is been like a huge push for that. Like I feel like all the options and stuff, even that we had like in the dining hall, they were never just like yes, we had like I think there was like occasionally there was like burgers and fries and stuff, but there's like you know, you have like your salads, and then like even like when they had like certain meals out, like I vividly remember the orange chicken that we all loved there from the dining hall.
They
served like
Tuesdays. It was
It was like
Tuesdays.
it was like
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
they always had like Chinese food.
Those were
Yes,
good.
exactly.
That
It
was
was like
Oh wait,
Chinese
not
food.
Tuesdays. Tuesdays was tacos. Wednesdays had Chinese
Yeah,
food.
it was
Tacos
one of the
Tuesdays.
days of the week they had like a specific like Chinese dish or whatever, and it was like literally like Chinese takeout food, and it was so good.
Yeah.
But they only did that like every once in a while, and
Yeah.
it was so infuriating. But I
They
really remember.
completely stopped it this year.
Really? No.
Anyway,
They
so
completely
glad
stopped it.
I
I haven't seen General So's there in a while.
That's
No,
horrific.
that's so
but
sad.
it was like they had like the chicken, they had rice, and it was like steamed vegetables.
Right.
Like, that's like the
Yeah.
healthiest
It was-
meal you
yeah.
could get,
And it was
Like,
good.
straight up.
Yeah.
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 They had like tons of like vegan, vegetarian options. Like I can't speak on how good those options were, but I do know they had options.
Yes.
Yeah.
But exactly. So.
Oh gosh.
Wait, what they do
And-
with grilled cheeses?
Ooh.
Oh.
But those were like
Dude,
once
they
a month.
put
but
some
those,
weird
those
stuff
were
in those grilled
no,
cheeses.
Dude,
they did,
no,
but they were solid.
Nothing pissed me off more in my entire college career than when I opened up a grilled
2 years
cheese
long.
and there was apple slices in the grilled cheese.
What?
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that.
I remember
I
that.
remember that
Like-
day.
And it wasn't even like, oh, they like just sliced the apple and it's still like fresh. So it's like, okay, it's like a different texture, whatever. It's like mushy apple
Oh, nah.
slices
Oh,
that
nah.
are like clear, like on top of the melted cheese. I was like, I'm gonna burn this building to the ground.
Oh,
like
God.
that made me
I remember that.
so violently angry for no reason whatsoever.
That's so cursed.
Oh my god.
So
That
cursed.
was the worst thing I have ever seen in my life.
Oh my
Like, I
Lord.
get it's like, oh, you have like an apple with it. It's like, they just give me an apple. Like, I don't want it on the grilled cheese. What is
One
wrong
thing-
with you?
What is
I
that?
was thinking of
Mhm.
is all the
God.
the Panther or what dining dollars, Panther funds, all that stuff, and places that Pitt would have like the
Mhm.
waffle place, the True Burger. Oh my god!
Oh,
I went to
yeah.
True Burger so
Yeah.
They don't have it anymore.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
replaced it
Jacob,
with
you
milk
have
and
used
cookies.
True
And
Burger.
I was a True Burger fiend.
Wait,
yeah,
True
Jacob
Burger's
was
gone?
a True. No, True Burger's
It's
there.
still there.
Oh,
The
okay.
iron waffle is gone,
Oh, that's
And
hard.
then-
Oh.
and then they added like a milk and cookies place, and then they added it's called Paper Lantern. It's pretty much like a Chinese place.
Oh, that's awesome.
Inside that little corner.
Alright.
Oh,
The
it's so
milk and
good.
cookies one's actually milk and cookies is goated because for people who don't know, like part of a meal plan is you can get like something called a meal exchange, and you pretty much sacrifice a dining hall swipe for the day for like a meal pretty much at any like of our on campus dining locations. Like I have to say, Pitt does do a good job.
That's
Like,
yeah.
your meal plan is it's pretty flexible in terms of like where you want to eat. Like you usually can get one dinner or lunch, like not at your dining hall, and you can get like it at any place. Now we can have a debate about like if those places are good or not, but like in terms
That's
of like
besides-
flexibility,
Yes.
like there,
Yeah.
there is flexibility there. But like if you don't use your meal exchange for the day, you can just go down and get like 2 ginormous cookies and milk, and like that's like an option. So like there'd be times like, and that closes like at 10. So like if you know that you didn't use it, like your meal exchange today, but you went to the dining hall for all your meals, or you only had 2 meals, it's great because you can just go down there, get 2 ginormous cookies, like give one to a friend or something, and you got like a nice
that
dessert.
sounds
So
really
like
good. Like I
it's
love
goated for that
the
reason.
waffle place, but like,
Interesting.
All right.
I don't know.
Interesting.
That also sounds like fantastic.
Yeah, having
can
that
put some
and the
weird stuff
Chinese
in those
place,
waffles.
But I don't know. Like it seems like that. I really did enjoy that about like Pitt, because for a while I didn't know about it. I would just because like living in Tower A, you have the dining hall right below you, so you don't need to be going out to like the Union. It's COVID, so you don't have in-person classes, so there's not really that much of an incentive because everything you need for the most part is like within the same building. So I didn't really know about like True Burger until like later on, and I was like, oh wow, like at least second semester freshman year, I loved it. I can't really, I don't know now, but I loved it then. But and I mean another thing that like I've just been thinking about has been like the other places like around campus that like I'll be going to. Like one place, like I think the biggest like most important thing is having like fast food apps. Because so you can like get the points. So like McDonald's app, I remember we went to McDonald's so much. Second semester freshman year.
Weekly
Like,
basis,
yeah.
every
Like,
weekend, every weekend.
Every weekend.
I did not do this. I did not
You
do
at least
this.
were there for.
I
Like,
definitely didn't get it
trip.
as much, but
Jacob and I were.
You were there. You were there
I was
for the
definitely,
ride.
I
You were
was
there for the
definitely
ride.
there for it. Yes, I was definitely there for the ride. I probably didn't order as much, but I definitely was like present for
Can't
the
call it
Don's
Don's.
run.
You can't
every
call
week.
it Don.
Mickey D's.
Get
Mickey
our
D's.
I
Mickey
mean, I
D's.
did now.
Mickey
I think,
D's.
like, discovering
Mickey
different
D's.
places, like, even though it's in Oakland and it's not like you're going out like outside of like, really Pitt's campus, just like like finding different places, like going to like Frenchies. Like when I first found out about Frenchies, I had no idea. Like we were walking there, and I was like, I have no idea
Game
where
changer.
I'm going, but I'm just going to follow the group. And then so, like people went in, they got Frenchies, and then they came out. We were walking back. And I was like, oh, okay, this place seems like kind of cool. So, like, that's one thing. Like, I mean, it can definitely, I mean, it gets expensive if you continue, like, to go out and eat. But, I mean, that is one thing I found, like, fairly interesting about college life. Because in high school, like, we couldn't get off-campus food until, like, consistently until basically senior year. And that was after like everybody had to like have like certain forms signed and like turned into like the office. But also you wouldn't want to typically do that because even though you're gonna like, it's not like you have to be responsible for all your meals like you are for the most part in college. It still is going to be getting expensive. You're going out, you're getting like Chick-fil-A, like for every day for lunch, and you just ruin your love for Chick-fil-A. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think how your campus is arranged completely bases your opinion on like the food available to you because like my sister's college is like way more like self-contained. Like there's not as many places, but like Pitt, because we're in like a town area of like a greater city, like even if you don't go to and Pitt has, like I said, a ton of like on-campus options that aren't the dining hall, like you can just go off onto Forbes Avenue and Forbes Avenue has a ton of spots, especially now when they open like the Columbia and Spot and Hollow guys. Like there's a lot of spaces you can eat. Now again, that's going to cost you actual money, so I wouldn't advise people going to college to like just always go in and eat out. But it is an option in case like something's not going. One day we had a power outage.
Yeah.
In the building and like the dining hall shut down. But like there's no reason to like panic because you're like you can get food because there's 30 areas around campus that can like I remember there was a power outage, Jacob, and my mom had texted me and she's like, hey, I heard there's a power outage because like she's on like the Facebook group and she's like, a bunch of people are freaking out about their kids not being able to get food. And I was like, I don't know why they're freaking out, Mom. Like Jacob and I are about to walk over to Chipotle and we walked all the way over to Carnegie's Chipotle, got Chipotle, walked back and ate it, and we were good to go. Like it's just like there's no like fear of like getting food around the area. Like I don't know.
So are we
anyone else
opening that diner or what? Like what? Like what's
that is,
dude,
that's the biggest. That is the biggest issue I have. That's the biggest issue I have with Oakland is that there is no like. There's Pamela's Diner, of course, but there's no like classic 24/7 diner, which is so needed, and you would make so much money if you owned that. Like on weekends or even on weekdays, like kids staying up late, they want to grab some food. They'll like if they're at the library or whatever, they want to get food, they go to the diner. Like that would be such a lucrative like business, and it's just
I would say that
diner food is goated.
Most definitely a place where you can get some wings because you don't want to go like you don't want to go to who goes to Stack
Yes.
and like
Yes.
just gets the wings. Like I've never seen anybody go to Stack and like they only get wings. You've done it before.
It's a burger place.
I've done it before.
Wow.
I didn't know they had
I've
wings.
never done it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Justin, I guess more
Me
power to
neither.
you, but there's definitely better things. Yeah, like there's definitely better things
I'm like that.
at Stacked than wings. And I think Stacked is somewhat overrated, but a wing spot, and then also definitely a gas station, like a Sheetz nearby, like that entire rumor, like it was disappointing when that like, fell through, but like.
Oh my god.
It's too good to be true.
So for context for our listeners, there was like kind of like an open like
Gas
area
station.
where I think they knocked down a gas station and then someone started a rumor that they were putting a Sheetz there, and like the Pitt students went into a frenzy. We were so excited that they were putting a Sheetz there. because then it's like, oh, they've got like they're open 24/7, like late night food. It's like that perfect like greasy gas station food that's so good, like made to order, whatever. And then like I think it might have been the city of Pittsburgh had to come out and be like, yeah, that's not a Sheetz. I don't know why they were thinking about that. And I think they put like they're putting like a building there or like housing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a parking garage.
Oh.
I was about to say if it's a parking
Another
garage.
one.
Well, we need all the parking we can
Yeah,
get.
just
in
these two
Oakland.
street. Yeah. No, I was gonna say that's one thing that Jacob brought up. Like those three things, like those food places, like essentials. Like you need them. But I would say one thing I expected going to college, like I've always had this conception, like always been thinking this was that wherever I go to school, there'd be a wing place, and there's no wing place here. Like you associate wings with college, right? Am I wrong? Like, have you heard?
Why is that? Okay,
Come
so
on.
of
He's right,
all of
he's
the
right.
thing. Okay, no, we need to like dissect this.
Oh
real
wait,
quick.
that's
Am I-
the top,
yeah.
that's the
Of
top
all
one?
of the things.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Why is this happening? No.
What?
Stop it. Okay.
What?
Out of all of like the stereotypes,
No,
and, like, things, the expectations about college, your one thing was that I will eat wings there.
No,
That's
that was
it.
not the one thing. But I meant for regarding food, like when I would always talk with my
Okay.
like I would like growing
Okay.
up, I'd talk to my dad about his time in
God.
school. He said he'd always go to like Cluck You Chicken. If you guys have heard of that,
Yes.
like he'd always go there late
Okay.
night, whatever, grab food there. So like I figured
All right.
there'd be some like wing place. That's like
Okay.
that's what one thing about
But
college.
when you say the one thing I thought about college, and then just say I thought I would eat wings there,
grammatical,
we were
grammatical
confused.
error. I meant not the one thing,
Okay.
but one thing I thought about going into
Okay.
college.
We were talking about making a chicken and rice place because
Oh, that's
we like
right.
just only serve chicken and rice. Like
Yes,
there's 3 kinds of rice, there's 3 kinds of chicken.
and you'll
and no
get one of them.
vegetables. There you
You
go.
don't get to decide. We'll
No
choose
sides,
for
just
Yeah.
rice, chicken and rice.
you. No sides, only
Make a-
water.
Make a we'll have a partnership with
Rice,
Death.
chicken, and water.
It's Liquid Death. Come on.
Stop giving them free advertising.
They can reach out.
I've
to
still
us.
they
never tried
sponsored
it.
us, but they
They
don't.
have a sick name, but I still never tried.
So Peter, talking about your diner point or someone's diner point. The problem with diners on our campus is like diners like kind of need to be big. Like Pamela's is like too small for
Fair.
a diner,
Mhm.
and like when you're in the diner, you get that vibe. Like there's no like, oh, I'm chilling out and like just like crashing at the diner. Like Pamela's feels like, no, you're going to the diner, you're getting food, and you're getting out. Like it's very
Yeah.
like fast paced, but like that's not like what a diner vibe should be like. So like you would really need like a huge. space
This
to have
is
diner.
why
So, like,
I want to buy the Panera. Have you ever been on the inside of the Panera?
dude, I know they just reopened the Panera.
Wait,
I'm not gonna be able to
wait.
buy it.
Pissed.
There's the Panera Hotel
What?
though, which apparently the hotel, like
Oh, what?
because there's a
That's on Boulevard of the
right,
Allies.
yeah,
We can't
it's
do
not,
that.
it's not, that's, especially for where we live,
Boulevard
that's not
Allies.
bad, and like that's
Too
still like
far.
right next to campus.
Yeah, but you're not on really Pitt's campus.
Nah.
It's
I am buying out that Panera. All right, I'm knocking down all of the walls in there.
With what
only,
money?
Only boots. All right, with the podcast money. That's what we're doing with
Yeah,
this.
all right.
The Wash
We make
Athlete
no money.
Diner.
We're like negative 300.
Oh my
We got
god.
this.
Yeah, that would be the ideal. Just turn that into like
Or
a
even the spot
old
that the
retro
Sheetz was
diner.
supposed to
oh my
be.
god.
That would be
Yo.
a perfect spot.
What if we bought?
But I'm saying like that would have been a perfect
Yeah,
spot.
that would have.
Not
Yeah.
It's a
down the
parking garage.
No, but like beforehand, that would have been perfect for
Oh,
one
beforehand,
of
yes.
those three things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all, like we already covered this. Like it's awesome. But no, what we do is like there's the Panera, right, and then next to it is like a Rue 21,
Oh.
and then next to it is like the old like hub of Starship, which was little robots that used to go down the street with your food. We buy out the whole bottom of the building
Oh,
and
perfect.
just turn it into one massive diner.
Oh my god.
we buy the whole thing out.
By the whole thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. By the entire thing, like old, like retro, like 70s type diner with like the red leather seats. You get the milkshakes where it's like it comes in the glass thing, and they also have the metal container that comes out with it. Ugh,
Checkered floor.
That's what we need.
Yep.
Checkered floor, yes.
We're bringing jobs to Pittsburgh.
We're bringing jobs to Pittsburgh. That's what we need.
They'd make some
God,
more
that
money.
place would be
Like,
so
oh
good.
my gosh.
They make it. They would make a stupid amount of money. It's like ridiculous.
It's a win-win for everyone.
It would be hard to staff it though.
It would be so hard to staff it.
True.
Like, if you were bringing in money, you could just pay very well. Like, if you like paid a competitive wage against any of these other restaurants, I'm so sure you would get like waiters that
You go to all the dining hall. You go to all the dining hall employees, and you say,
Even
Hey,
how much
even
are
as
we
college
making?
Yeah,
to-
and then
We'll double that.
Exactly.
We'll double that.
And here,
or
The pit.
exactly.
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
and
saying.
Exactly.
Is like you walk into any of these restaurants here, they're like, I hate it here, and it's like walk in and be like, all right, what are you making? Oh, I'm making like 12 an hour, which is like good, especially for waiters.
24.
Like, making 24 an hour. You're making basically
Easy.
as much as paramedics
Yeah.
make. Let's go.
Now, but wait, let me tell you why that's a
Yeah.
win-win-win. Because all right,
Wow.
24/7.
Okay.
Yes. Now this is why.
Okay.
This is why. Hear me out. Because all right,
Okay.
we go to school in Pittsburgh. Everything closes at like 8, 9, 10, depending on the day, right? If this is 24/7, like college kids stay up late. Like if we're studying the library, doing
Okay.
whatever, it's a weekend. We want food. Like you have diner right there, right? Okay.
That's one way.
2, it's a diner, and like there's Pamela Sure, but it's always like booked. It's always like
Okay.
you
Okay.
you
Okay.
can't-
yeah, that's
you
good,
can't-
that's good, too. Okay.
breakfast food is like
2 is another
breakfast
diner.
food is like that. And just
Okay.
3, like it's something different. You don't really have that.
That's not how it works. You need
No.
3 different people or parties
All right.
to
All
win.
right, all right.
This was the stupidest
Well,
free
all right,
list
all right.
item.
It
This
was
terrible.
2.
It was like one item.
You
in
had
there.
no. You had 2. You had college students winning, and then you had the restaurant winning. So you need another party to win.
Well, as a result of the college kids always going, like
You can't. You
Pittsburgh
can't.
job
exactly
market.
because you have all these kids.
There you
have
go.
influx-
Now you got
yeah,
3.
You didn't
Well,
say
well,
that.
now, all right. Well,
can't
all right, yeah. All right, yeah. You added to the. All right, but you helped my point that it is in fact a win-win-win. I didn't say it was just me saying that.
Okay.
It was all. It's a team effort.
Okay. Okay, so the win-win-win is
We'll
for
shake hands.
college students, the restaurant itself, and the city of
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. That's
I'm
your
not taking full
win-win-win.
credit. That is a team
All right.
effort.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it is.
It took a while
It
to
did,
get there.
but
but
it
But
did.
you got there.
It did. But you helped me prove that it is in fact a win-win-win.
There
Dang.
you go.
make
Amazing.
sure everyone goes checks out our breakfast tier list on the Wash Athlete podcast.
Oh, yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
page.
True. Yo, true.
Got to plug.
Yeah,
Got to
yeah.
plug.
Throwback,
Two-
French
gotta
toast,
plug.
best
One. Have
best
we
friend.
done a
Yep.
Of
course.
So
tier
good.
list or no? Okay. Well, we should do that. I'll work on that. Actually,
Food, not yet.
No.
We have not.
I'll,
Yes.
I'll work on that.
There you go.
Listen, man, I've been making too many tier lists
and,
recently. So I'm gonna have to be on
two-
this.
This is just more of a side note, but when you were saying 24-hour diner, I was thinking of Anchorman 24 or Anchorman 2, 24-hour news. So that's just a side note. Just a side note. Yeah.
Thanks. All right. Anyway.
On to the next topic.
It's on cruise control.
Now that we've talked about our diner plans to endless amount, let's talk about advice. Like what do you guys think?
Oh,
like
that's
whether
good,
it's
yeah.
like good advice, bad advice, like what do you think just like in general like people should know about going to college?
Don't skip
That-
class.
Yes. Don't skip class. Number 1.
Trust me, it's like a disease.
Yes.
You do it once, and then next thing you know, you're like, I'll be fine. And then you end up not going to that class for the rest of the semester.
And then you're not fine.
And Raj, like, and then
Yeah.
on your point, like, you already have that. Like for me, especially if you like get involved in other things, and that's gonna come to my advice a little bit. But like that time is already blocked out in your schedule. Like you have nothing else to do at that time. Like you're supposed to be in school, so if you use that time to like sleep instead, you're probably gonna have to make up that hour lecture somewhere else in your day where you could be doing other things. Like you already are busy at, like, say your class is at 9 a.m. and you don't want to wake up that early. You already have something booked from 9 to 10, so why are you going to,
That's
like,
very
wake
good
up later and make your day more, like, crunched together? It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
That's why I stay up till 4.
I have one huge bit of advice.
But, like, my advice is going off of Raj, like, understand before you come in, you're probably going to get involved in other things that aren't just school. And that's part of, like, my impression of college. I thought I was going to come to college, and I was going to do school, and I was going to vibe, and that would be it. And after the first semester of college, I was doing volunteering, research, like working as an RA, like working out every single day. And suddenly I was like, oh wait, I do more stuff outside of school than I do just like school. So like you have to like account for that in terms of like your schedule. You just don't go to college thinking you are only going to do school. Like you might only do school for like the first semester or the first year, but there's almost a 0% chance that come sophomore year you're going to only be doing like schoolwork. If you're just doing that, then you're not making like the most of your college experience. Like get involved like clubs and like any other extra, or just working like a job to make money. Like that stuff all comes up. So to make sure you like, you know, that going in, because like, I don't know. I don't think I appreciated my first semester, even though it was COVID. Like I didn't appreciate how much free time I had. And now I'm like, when I do my schedule, I'm like, all right, I can sneak in 30 minutes to eat lunch. And then, but in freshman year, I was like, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. I would say the one big piece of advice that I would say is it sounds like typical or whatever cliche, but I would say definitely step out of your comfort zone in a social sense, because I came into college pretty introverted. I know Justin was as well. Even actually Jacob too.
I
yeah,
more now.
but here's the thing.
I might be more of an introvert.
I think you
potentially.
I mean that could be debatable, but the point is, I'm going to use Peter as a prime example here, in that having a social life is very important. And what Peter did on day one, won't forget it. Leaving that door freshman year, leaving that dorm room open it's literally a domino effect. You have it open, like one person could be walking by, say hi, whatever, start a conversation, and that starts a chain reaction, and you make more friends, and these friends can turn out to be friends for life, which
I'm not sure
we have
about
friends
that,
for life
Andres.
now. And
There we go.
also,
I hate everyone.
damn, wow.
Oh my god, you
Wow.
rats. Just shoot him down.
All right, you know,
Unbelievable.
I was going here. You got to stop me now.
Unbelievable,
but-
you assholes.
No, but making friends is very important. Not just because having friends is good for your mental health, but also because, like, if you're in a class and like you're not understanding a concept well, and you have a friend in that class, like you could study together, they can help you out. You got study groups, like it goes a long way. And I think making friends is the most important thing. Like, yeah, you're at school to study and go to class and get good grades, whatever, for your degree. But I think that making friends is not, like I said, not only good for you mentally, but also like it helps you like get to your goal of getting that degree and getting good grades. So yeah, make friends, or at least try your best.
Oh.
Yes. Kind of going off of that, definitely keep an open mind about college, because you're going to have expectations going into it. You're going to think it's going to be one thing, and it's going to be something very different. And things going to come up. It's going to be it's not going to be what you expect, really. And don't be so set in your ways that it's like, oh, because like one thing is different, it's like, oh, suddenly everything is ruined. It's like, no, like be open to everything. Try to talk to as many people as you can. Like some things will work out, some things won't work out, but don't stress about every single last detail, because it's college. You're also learning how to grow up and learning how to be an adult. So while doing it, make sure that like you keep an open mind about everything. You try to like learn how to be yourself, in social situations, in class, all that, and just make sure that you're not so set in your ways that you can't learn how to change, because who knows, maybe it'll change for the good. So that's kind of like
my piece of advice would be to definitely branch out, try new things, because odds are like if you're going to like a different place, or like place you haven't been to in like a long period of time, there's going to be certain things you can try out, different experiences you can go have. So I think it's definitely important to try that. Definitely branch out and meet other people, because it's just great. Meeting people from like different backgrounds, like regardless of like what I guess the core culture identifier might be, is very important. And it's just an interesting thing to do. But I would say also to like your parents, like hopefully like your parents raised you like to do for your throughout your entire childhood. You're going off to college, with certain things and like life lessons they've taught you. So I would say to like try to keep that in mind. Not necessarily like, obviously if there's certain things your parents have taught you they're just flat out wrong, be able to put that in the trash, learn, change, as Peter was saying. But I think at the end of the day, I think you should.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be at college a lot of like different temptations and different things you can try out because you're in a place where there's not a lot of like adult supervision. So I think you can try to branch out and try different things, but I think you should try to like remain somewhat to like who you are, like your core as a person. Exactly. And I would say to always like it's it's
remain
very
true to
difficult
yourself.
at times, but always try to do the right thing, like regardless of like what the situation is, because there can be a lot of situations where it might just be easier to like do what you want or do like what the group wants. But I think that if you consistently like just try and do the right thing, it might not impact you the best in that specific moment. You might like lose a friend or something, like be deemed unpopular or something like that. But I think in the long run, it's definitely something that will benefit you. So yeah, that's my advice.
Yep.
Oh, Jay, I was going to say, you just brought up something too, like popularity, and it's not really advice, but just in general, like for even anyone, popularity is like irrelevant.
Oh, absolutely.
In college.
Yeah.
Like there is no popularity. Like the athletes you don't walk around, you don't see like athletes like travel in herds and like making fun of other college kids or like
yeah, exactly.
Like, everyone just is kind of vibing on their own. Like there might be like, I'm not saying there's not like bullying in college. I'm not gonna be like naive to say that, but like there is not like. It's not like, oh, these are the popular kids at college. Like, you meet your own friends. If you're going in thinking like, oh, this is what's going to make me popular or not, like, no. Like, you might struggle to fit into social cliques depending on how you decide to like what actions you want to do. But that's kind of finding a group. There's not like popularity. Like in high school, we all had the kids like, oh, that's all the popular kids. Like those are the kids that like are throwing parties and always hanging out. Everyone wants to be like them. But that's not how it is in college.
Yeah.
Raj, do you have any wise words for us?
Let's see. Well, we knocked off the don't skip class. Definitely stick to a sleep schedule.
Giving advice he doesn't follow.
Yeah, twice.
I'm too far gone at this point. Too far gone. Don't fall into the wrong crowd because it will definitely mess up your because like Justin was saying, it's school first. Like with the whole popularity thing, it's school first. Social life next. So focus more on school. Don't focus on the social aspect as much because then you'll fall into this little like rut. And next thing you know, you're trying to recover your grades, blah, blah, blah. But don't do that either. And probably lastly, watch out for people you make friends with because people tend to put on fronts when they come to college.
Fair.
To try to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all been through it.
Yes.
I can name a lot
all those
of people.
Facebook posts asking for roommates, like they're all just like everyone is really serious about school and also likes to go out.
It's not all sunshines and rainbows.
How can you do
it's
both?
not all sunshines and rainbows.
Exactly.
Like if you don't have a good roommate experience or something like that, like I know several people that haven't. Like don't be like, oh, it's just me. Like it happens. Like it's actually a more common thing than you think.
When you were like, yo, you want to be roommates? I was like,
yeah, sure.
But I was like, who is this kid? It was very much so like, you know what, why not? But like, I was also like, oh, okay, you know what? Like, I have no idea who you are.
It's weird.
I mean, I would say that, yeah, and I mean, I would say that like, it really, and I mean, like, it's something
it's
like
so
you know,
weird,
you might,
right?
like I've known
you're being roommates with a complete stranger
for, like, years. But I'm not like, it's not like I would be roommates with them. So it's some complete stranger, you know, but at the same time, as like, you know, we've, like as long as we've known each other, you know, and gotten to understand like what each other's interested in and different things like that. Like, I think that, while we might have not like, you know, physically like been in the same room, I would say like, yeah, never were roommates, but like I would still say that like it was like a good idea.
Never were roommates after all.
Yeah, never were.
And I still feel like it wouldn't have been like, you know, the worst thing in the world. You know? Yeah, we're not friends. Andres was totally wrong with
that. We're definitely not friends though.
No.
That's why you're
my
doing
bad. My bad.
Yeah.
I do.
This is why
you guys really
just a front.
No, but I need to reiterate. That was mean, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, I need to Yeah, no, I need to reiterate one of Jacob's points though, and I'm going to use him as an example of his advice being to try something new. Like one day in the fall of sophomore year, I was like, Jacob, let's go check out a soccer game. Like it's free. Let's check it out. And then we go to the soccer game. He's like, okay, that was fun. Then we keep going and going. And then he discovered a passion that he didn't realize he had, and that was he liked soccer. And now he follows it. So.
Oh, I thought you meant Pitt.
He supports Pitt soccer. He supports Pitt soccer, but he discovered that he likes soccer. So that's one thing about trying something new. You might discover something that you never really knew you liked, and that was like me kind of with football. I didn't follow it as much. Like I watched Super Bowl, whatever, but after coming to college and going to college football games, like they were fun. So then it started a chain reaction of me following the NFL more and just following college football in general more. So yeah, trying something new is huge.
Exactly.
Yep.
One of my biggest things is people, and this is advice to anyone, and this is like, I mean, people in like your own, like, even like older people listening, like for your own life, like going to college, you need to learn to also be alone. Like there's not going to be a friend following you around your entire college experience who like goes to class with the same class with you every single day. Will follow you to the dining hall. Will get dinner with you. There might be times where you have to skip a football game because you're really busy, and and you might not be able to go out to that party you want to go to, or go out and like watch that movie with a group of friends because you might be like busy. And if you can't handle being alone, like the sad reality is it's going to eat you up, and you're going to like feel guilty, and you're going to feel really isolated. Like you have to learn that like it's okay to like be by yourself the entire weekend because you have to get stuff done.
Yeah,
and that's not like a be antisocial. That's
exactly.
Sometimes you have to like go away. Like Jacob, you live alone right now. Like that's how it is. I live alone currently right now. I live alone during the school year in my building because I'm an RA. So like I have a bunch of freshman residents I look after. So like I don't really like talk to them that much because I'm like supposed to be there like as their like mentor, like not as their like best friend. So like you have to like learn to like be able to like just do things by yourself so that like you can like, I don't know. I've seen it before where people like always are trying to like go do something with the group, and it becomes a super big inconvenience. And people go home on vacations and you might be still at Pitt. Like say people go home to visit their family and you're all alone. Now you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm all alone. It's like,
I'm wearing a Steelers jersey.
Like
I
you should know what to do. Like you're allowed to be alone.
It's at St. Vincent College. Went to the Steelers training camp by myself, and I didn't understand you guys are busy, and I mean honestly, the tickets are free. I did have a good time and all that, but at the same time, it's like I think in life you're definitely going to need to there are definitely times where it is like very important to be able to work with others, but I feel like if you you should be able to you should be comfortable being on your own, because it's not like anything bad. And Justin, what you were saying, I mean, it's just saying you have your priorities in order. It's not like you might not like hanging out with people. It's just you understand, okay, you have X, Y, and Z you have to do. So if you do want to go to a party on Atwood, you can't do that necessarily because you you have like a biochem test following on Monday or something like that. I wouldn't have a biochem test on Monday. I wouldn't know. I did not ever took biochem.
That felt targeted.
Biochem exams were on Thursday, baby. Raj and I took biochem tests on Thursday.
To, learn how to, adult and manage your time. That's something I'm still working on. But I mean,
manage your time.
I think you put it pretty well. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, and it's not like it's having your priorities in order for sure, and also just like if you are like I don't even know how to like when you're faced with being alone, don't let that like eat you up. Like you should not be sitting there like by yourself on like Saturday night, like doing homework and being like, damn, like I really want to be out there with everyone. Like no, like be present, like put on your own music and like just. I think if you can learn to live like be by yourself. Like, especially like right now, like I go to work, I come back here, like you cook dinner by yourself. Like we're obviously on the pod now, but like other times I might just not be doing anything. Like figure out something to do, keep yourself occupied, because like you're not always going to have people around you. And if you rely on people, like it's kind of other advice, like friendships break. Like there's been many of us who have been like thought we'd have friends, or like thought you'd be closer to one person, then friendships break. And sometimes when friendships break, you kind of like get left alone for a little bit until you like figure out where to go. And you have to be able to manage if your friend group like breaks apart and then you're by yourself.
I would even say
you're going to eat yourself up, but you just got to be able to like
no, I would even say
focus
like,
in
it
and
would be
like
even easier nowadays like to be on your own. Like at least like Justin no,
I wouldn't say
like
anything.
I live on my own, but I also have a phone. So like if I'm bored, if I'm really bored and I have nothing to do, like but
Congratulations.
I have a phone. So
I have a phone. Thanks.
Like I like can call like my parents, I can call friends from home, I can like talk to my sister, and I can talk with you guys. I might not be living in the same like house as you guys, or I might be like not living in the same dorm. But even like if you are living on your own, like there's still like you can still communicate with certain people through like the new the technology that we have. I mean, you can like there's so many different streaming services where you can watch like different things, and like you can always like I mean, there's always just something you can probably do. Or I mean, just look. I mean, we live in a like a city, so I mean, you can just go walk around in Oakland and like just explore something, like try to figure out something to do. So I don't know. I think it's just also like a good experience to have like when you're growing up, like because like especially having lived on my own, like if something needs to get done and I don't do it, it's not like there's going to be someone else that's going to be like in here being like, okay, like take a shower, something like that. Yeah, like it's not like I'm gonna be able to do. Yeah.
Your mom isn't gonna pull up and your mom isn't gonna pull up and like do your dishes for you.
Good,
exactly.
Life lesson. Like I remember back in like when I was and like when I was before college, like one of my responsibilities would always be to take out the trash and to take out the recycling, and I always hated it. I'd always drag my feet about it. But I mean, and now when I go back home, I totally would. Like I 100% would, and I did.
You would
almost every time. But I mean, now look, like I mean, it's created a good habit. Like, so I mean, I could go in like more on like just different habits it creates, but I mean, I think the point's like proven for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop my last piece of advice because I just feel like I kind of do this like as a job, so I like you have to like you need to like learn about yourself and like how like what your strengths and weaknesses are too. Like by like figuring out what you're not good at, like it helps you at like and like social situations in college and like your academic pursuits or just like your organizational pursuits, like all that stuff. Like just figuring out what you're good at, and I mean it helps for interviews too. Like what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and whatnot. Like I know that I'm like very easily like a control freak, so like knowing that helps you like group projects or like when you work on like teams or whatnot, knowing like, hey, maybe I shouldn't act like a control freak because I do that a lot and that's not like a good thing. Or being like, I'm really good at being organized, so I'm going to make sure that I do X, Y, or Z. Just kind of like knowing where like your strengths and weaknesses are, and if you don't know what they are, like I don't know, like take a personality test, like 16 personalities, great test. Take an Enneagrams test, like that's helpful. Or just like learn, like just think about like how you interact with like the world and figure out like, hey, like be honest with yourself, like, hey, I could be doing this better or that better. And like it just helps a lot because you're going to learn a lot about yourself. Like we were talking about like being alone, like no one's been alone. Like when you go to college, typically you don't live alone because you've got your parents are usually home when you get back. If you have siblings, they're at home. When you go to school, the only time you're like potentially alone is if you're an only child or by yourself, like waiting for the bus stop. Otherwise, you get on a bus full of people. You go to school full of people. You're never alone in school. Then you go home and you hang out with like your family's home. Like you're just never left alone. So then when you are left alone, you can actually like learn a lot about yourself and like your personality.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
We got any more
Thank
advice, or else are we going to move into the big controversy of the century?
Oh my god.
One more piece. Don't beat yourself up over bad grades.
They're normal.
Yeah.
It's a very normal thing.
You can
Okay.
recover. Yes.
Yes. Okay. On to Jacob's thing.
What?
This is not the biggest controversy.
Is that?
No.
Yeah, the dorm room controversy of the century.
The atrocious take by Pitt Barstool.
Yeah,
I thought
we got
it was
a bone
going to be
to
your story,
No,
Jacob.
Nah,
We
we're
got
gonna
a
get to
bone to
Jacob.
pick.
We're
We
gonna
got
get
a
to
bone to
Jacob
pick.
after this. All right, so for video listeners, I'm going to try to share my screen real quick here to pull up what was posted. Audio listeners, we will describe it to you. So presented on the screen, everyone can see it. I have this post done by Pitt Barstool, the Barstool account for University of Pittsburgh, ranking the dorm rooms. Now, you got Nordenberg at 1, Tower B at 2, Holland at 3, Sutherland at 4, Tower C at 5. Most people who didn't go to Pitt, you don't know what this means, but I will try to break it through.
It
Number
doesn't
one,
matter.
a little bit biased here. Number one here. All of us did live in Tower A, and I have worked in Tower A for now. This is going to be my second year working in Tower A, so we are biased. I will not lie. But we'll make this clear. Nordenberg, obviously, I think we can all agree. Nordenberg, the nicest dorms. They're not only were they the newest, like they were built in like 2014, 2015 or something, but they have air conditioning. Their rooms are big. They come with refrigerators and microwaves and a little TV. So like I think we're all in agreement here. Like Nordenberg's is a good dorm room, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't think we have any beef
That
there.
deserves that spot.
Yeah, no beef with Nordenberg.
No.
Number 2, Tower B, and this is where we get into it, right? Tower, this is the objective measures. Now, objectively, right? Tower B and Tower A are virtually the same. If people don't know the good pit, and there's a certain area called towers. There's 3 cylinder buildings going up, like they go up really high, and there's Tower A, Tower B, Tower C. They're all about the same size. Some of them have like Tower B is like 20 floors, and Tower A is like Tower B might be 21, but like Tower A is 18.
I thought it was 23 and 19.
No, there is 19 floors of Tower A, but like there's no residence on the first floor, so there are 19 floors. But then there's technically an apartment over 19. So for rough sakes, there's like 18 residence floors, and then like 20 or so in Tower B, where they have residence. And so Tower B is slightly bigger by like 1 or 2 floors, but otherwise they're exact same building. They have air conditioning. The rooms are the same size. In Tower A and B, they're both doubles. They're all freshman buildings. The big difference here is Tower A has super nice bathrooms. In Tower B's bathrooms, I'm not even sure could pass a safety code. Like I'm not sure if you put inspectors in Tower B bathrooms, they would pass. Like they would have to move residents out and put
Prison
them in another
bathrooms.
hotel. Because I don't know if they pass inspection. They are
Prison
disgusting.
bathrooms.
Prison cells.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
you guys
yeah,
have
I
been
was
to that,
shocked
right?
because
Yes.
Tower
Yeah,
B has
they're
supposedly the
bad.
same layout as Tower A, and our bathrooms, like I took it for granted, like they were nice compared to what they had in Tower B.
Yeah, they were in the trenches. That was bad.
Yeah, so like you got Tower B here, which objectively everything is the exact same. The only difference is the bathrooms. And you guys might be like, "Oh well, Justin, that doesn't mean Tower B can't be on the list." You're right. It doesn't mean Tower B can't be on the list. Tower A is not on the list. It's not even like 30. Not even on the list.
It's just not
It's
even
not
an
Tower
option.
B there. And what makes it worse is Tower C is number 5. And guys, Tower C, you might not know, people listening, who Tower C is. I'll break it down for you. Tower C is like the loneliest place on campus because it's single dorms, and the dorms are like barely like Jacob length long, like or wide. They're super small. What?
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Yes.
Tower C is irrelevant.
Yeah, it is. Tower C is for some people, right? Like some people want to live alone. That's completely fine. We just talked about the benefits of like learning how to live by yourself.
Yes.
But like
But
it is
let's be
super
real.
small. There's no, you don't have. Yeah, there's super small rooms, and you're living by yourself. And there's like notoriously no social life in Tower C because like people there want to live alone, which is completely in their right. But why is it on the list? Like there's not like again, it has the same accommodations as Tower A and Tower B. Communal bathrooms. Tower C's bathrooms, I believe, are renovated, but there's like no kitchen or anything. So it's like Tower C is Tower A, except it's lonely.
Except it's lonely and the rooms are smaller.
Yeah, like it is baffling, and I think you can see here in our comments, right? Like right here on the top, you can see Raj Patel. Personally, I wouldn't take this disrespect, but that's just me. Justin, Tower A has better bathrooms than Tower B, but okay. Andres, Tower A not being there is crazy, and if you'll look here, Andres got 8 likes, I got 27 likes, we got 6 likes. Like, listen, the people like there's an issue here, right? Like, we, like talk about it, boys. Like, what are we thinking about this? This is disrespectful, Pitt Barstool.
Absolutely
Terrible.
pissed. Whoever's writing the
I want to know who's their source for this. I just
it's
want
the
to know.
Pitt Barstool.
So I
person.
I
don't know who it is though.
I just want to talk to that.
just wanna talk
See, it's
about
not even that. It's not even that. Okay,
Jesus.
you can make case Tower A is not top 5, which I think it should be. You might be biased, but like the locationing, it's the best of the 3 towers. So the big issue is that
Locationing.
positioning, location.
Just
Well,
move on.
I combined,
Just please move
combined
on.
one word, but positioning, location. But anyways, Tower B and Tower C being there and meaning it's above Tower A is the real problem here. Nordenberg, sure, you give a shout, whatever, but those 2 being above Tower A, nah, unacceptable.
Yeah, like my. Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm just pissed that like Tower A isn't even on the list. Like they couldn't. They were
Yes.
like they were too lazy just to extend it past the top 5 to include more dorms. Like I understand it's like, oh yeah, you know, you only care about the top 5. It's like, well, it also would have been funny to say which is the worst one. I'm not gonna lie, but like not even putting.
Forbes Craig.
Anyway, not even putting Tower A like in the top 5 when it's just better than C, and B has all of its issues, but like not even putting it in there. And then also it's weird because it seems like they're trying to just do like freshman dorms, but then they don't with Sutherland. So I'm like confused.
Freshman. Southie's freshman.
Is it freshman?
Well,
Yeah, it's honors.
Oh,
so they're all freshmen. They're all freshmen. Besides Tower C does have upperclassmen, but they've started to include freshmen because we overbook how many we over admit people. So like it typically didn't have freshmen, but now it does. So like I just think like this is like a bigger conversation. Pitt Barstool, you need to get your act together here because like this list is not objective at all. And if you want to say that it's like subjective, go ahead. But like at least say who wrote it.
Exactly.
Like at least give me some idea like who wrote this, because like there's no objective measure for Tower B being better than Tower A. Like it's all the same except one has disgusting bathrooms that are probably a code violation, and one has bathrooms that are like honestly pretty nice. Like I always thought when I went to college, like there'd be like showers with like curtains, like you'd be seeing other guys like shower. You know,
That's what I thought.
Tower A has like a stall wall, and then a curtain blocking you. Like you are super private with those bathrooms, and they're pretty clean. And I just think it's funny because like Pitt Barstool clearly didn't do their research, and we're not going to let you get away with it.
Exactly. We're pissed.
And rightfully so.
Absolutely furious.
So yeah, so for all our listeners, all video watchers, like obviously you're not going to really get it, but we just need to stand up for.
We
just need to stand up for the objective truth. Okay. Make sure you drop a like on the Instagram clip because we're going at Pitt Barstool. Like,
we're tearing them down. Yes.
Yeah.
They like so this is not like, oh, we're like taking a subtle shot at them. No, we're standing them face to face saying your taste sucks.
I want the person who wrote this to respond back and be like, hi, this is I'm biased to Tower B. Like I'd be like, all right,
please give an explanation. I want an essay. Give me an explanation as to why.
Pitt Barstool has 49,000 followers, and they're posting a list that clearly isn't objective. Yeah. Imagine you're a freshman coming in, and you're like, I saw freshmen commenting. They were like, "Oh wow, too late. I chose Tower B, or I already got placed in Tower A."
And it's like,
they'll be like,
good, you got in Tower A.
So
good for you.
Yeah. Well, and Tower B's bathrooms are getting renovated, but like, and they're going to be nice. So like, I guess Tower B and Tower A can get back on like equal footing objectively. But like, why are like, if people are literally like using this as like the top 5 dorm buildings, like. This is just not true. Holland doesn't even have air conditioning.
I don't understand.
Like, they don't mention it.
I still don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like I don't like Sutherland does have air conditioning, so I'm confused how you can put a building that doesn't have air conditioning over a building that has air. Imagine like being a freshman being like, "Wow, like I picked Sutherland over Holland. I guess that was a mistake." Like, no, it isn't, because when it's 90 degrees in August, September, when you're there, you'll be really appreciating the air conditioning.
It's like, oh, it's up the hill. It's like, I understand that, but like just sitting in your room with a fan when it's 90 degrees, you would rather suffer for like up that hill and it's terrible, and then get into an air-conditioned room that you're not paying for that AC. Remember that. Crank that all the way down. You pay a flat fee.
Your mom ain't gonna yell at you.
You paid a flat fee for that. All right. then you can use as much power as you want. So just jack that AC all the way down. And
Exactly.
So, as I mentioned earlier, I went to Steelers training.
All right, we're going to transition because, Jacob, I want to give you the time of day.
So,
Tell us about your story of the day. Give us some context for it.
You know, maybe some people couldn't tell. Or for the Spotify listeners, there you go. Yeah. Yep.
Not evident by the jersey.
I was I got tickets and then or I got a ticket rather. And
all the audio listeners, we love you guys.
It was supposed to start at 1:55, so I decided, okay, I'm gonna try to get there somewhat early. So I left my apartment around like 12 o'clock or so. Got gas, went on the road. You know, I'm going there. It's like about an hour drive, and I want to say I got there. Actually, I want to say left around like 12:15, but I get there. It's all cool. But there's already so many cars there. It's like kind of ridiculous. And this thing starts in like 40 minutes. So I'm kind of surprised. Pretty good turnout. So I'm there for a very specific reason. I bring a Bama shirt, which I actually have right here. So I bring the Bama shirt, and I'm wearing this Najee Harris jersey. Thank you, Justin. Because I'm a Bama fan. I'm a Bama football fan. Football fan, just to be clear. I wanted to get Najee Harris and Minka Fitzpatrick to sign.
Got you.
So I go to different sections, like the section where, or a spot where the players are walking out, and it's cool seeing all the players, walking past. They're really big, and then watching, as part of the practice. It's really fast paced. It's a lot different than seeing it in person, relatively close to the practice field. So it was a good experience, and I was sitting on a hill, and then eventually I saw that I realized, okay, the players are going to be walking back up this path to go back to the dorms because they're staying in a college campus. So I should get in this section so I can get the signatures I would like. So I go back there. TJ Watt was I probably could have reached out and touched TJ Watt at one point. Absolutely crazy. Kenny Pickett was also right there. And I now officially have beef with Kenny Pickett because he didn't sign my pit ID.
Just pet his arm.
The big man.
But I was clearly there for the Bama, for the Bama players. So
that's fake. You were literally a liar. Shut up.
I only have this Bama shirt because that's what I want to get signed. And there's this guy that walks up and he asked me if I want him to sign the shirt. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But I didn't think he played at Bama. And he was like, that he said that he played at Bama. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, nah, no, you didn't. And he was like, and I said that. And as it turns out, he looked right back at me. He was like, no, you must not recognize who I am. So
you said that? You said that?
Who could this possibly be? And I'm like, oh, this is Levi Wallace. And he played for Bama. He won 2 natties at Bama. He played corner. So I was like, oh, shoot. You're Levi Wallace. And he was like, yeah. But so I don't know if you guys can see, but he did sign. But I was like,
oh my god!
And he was like, yeah, he had a couple rings there, and I was like, oh, yeah. That's my bad, bro. I dapped him up, and we were like,
oh my,
if there was any beef, we squashed the beef. He certainly was like a really good guy. I mean, I'm happy that I got at least guessed who he was on the first guess because, I mean, the Steelers don't get a lot of Bama players in general, but I got him, I guess, it off rip. But I was like, dang, that's really, really, really embarrassing. I just told a guy.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's a tough look.
So
that's the epitome of tough
looks.
looks.
Let me get this straight. You are such a Bama elitist.
Yeah, he played for the Bills.
That you looked someone that went to the University of Alabama, played there.
Jacob, this guy?
and
This
said,
guy for a video?
"Oh, yes,
Yeah, because they're so.
This guy?
Because a lot
You
of players
looked this
would
guy-
walk by and like they'd be joking
You looked this
around
guy
with one
in the
another saying, "Oh, they
eyes
don't
after
know
he
who
said,
you are."
"Oh,
So I'm
I
thinking
went
to
there,"
myself,
and you just
okay,
said,
maybe he's
"No."
just trying to gaslight me.
Like, I
don't
think
know
he
what-
would know if he went to Bama or not.
He should. I thought he could just be joking. I thought he could just be a joke, and then I was like, "Oh, you actually, in fact, went to Bama. I actually do know when you went."
Why would he be such an
definitely,
asshole
like,
if he
you know,
didn't go to
You
Bama
definitely
to
made
sign
plays on the
something
field,
from
but,
Alabama?
like, and I've
Oh,
definitely been
my-
like, thank goodness for Levi Wallace. At times, I actually have been to a game that he's played in, 2 actually, and he made some pretty crucial plays in them. So I did a so just so everybody knows, I did. I just so everybody knows.
Jay, I'm gonna give you the opportunity right now. Look in the camera and apologize to
formally
Levi Wallace.
apologize to Levi Wallace. I
Stop
did not
it.
recognize who you
Swallow
were. He was wearing a
and
helmet.
say
I did
sorry.
not recognize who he was.
Say sorry.
It was my. He asked me if I.
Okay.
Yeah. He like for my, like if
And
I'm
I
trying
guess
to just play.
It
my,
is
like,
actually
there's
fair
no
because he was
excuse. I should know who
traded
he
to
is.
the Steelers, so like you
Steelers
weren't
slash
expecting
Alabama
like a
singer.
different guy that wasn't on
I
the
should
Steelers
know. I should have
beforehand.
known who he was.
So like I guess that is fair.
But the reason why I was thinking it was more difficult is because, one, this is his first year on the Steelers. If I am correct,
Yeah.
I believe so.
No excuses.
And 2, he had his helmet on. So,
Yes. Yeah.
he was like right in front of me. He was right in front of me.
Yeah.
No. Now that you say
that's
he
a
had his
game
helmet
changer.
on, it's a lot better.
I
But
thought this dude was like
Yeah.
point blank
In
like,
your face.
helmet
Yeah.
off, like
I was
looking
like,
at
sure,
you.
can sign it, but I was like, why do you want to sign this? You didn't
Well, no,
Helmet
but like
off.
helmet
Yeah.
off, like oh,
No,
that's,
yeah,
that's so
helmet
sick,
off.
man. I went to
Games that you went
Alabama.
to.
Like, can I sign that for you? You're like,
because
no,
I like
you
you know
didn't
because
go
I
to
live in the
Alabama.
area.
No. My favorite part is that you are
and he's cool. Seems like a perfectly cool guy. I would like to formally
Ugh.
apologize again, as I did while I was there, as I just did like a couple less than a minute ago, likely, and now that is my fault that I did not recognize who you are. I should have. I wish you the best of luck, not only with
There we
this
go.
season,
Okay.
but the rest of your career and in life, Levi Wallace. So I did get the
Okay.
signature. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know.
Wow.
What I love, Jacob, is you. I was like, what I love is that
I
you
was
are like
so
the biggest
confident,
Alabama
too.
football nut ever, and when presented with like getting your
Alabama.
shirt signed, like I know I would be geeking too. You were probably geeking out, and you told this guy he did not go to Bama. Like you almost risked a 2-time national champion and not signing your shirt because you said you don't go to Steelers. Like, even though you couldn't see his face, you were just like, I would have been like, bro, shout out Bama. And even if you said, kidding, I didn't go to Bama, I'd be like, damn, that sucks. I didn't know who you were.
And
Just
I
like
mean,
That's
no. I knew this. I knew this beforehand. But I just totally and it's. I mean, it's totally wild because the Steelers typically.
now you did all
only
your
have,
research. Now that you're
4
coming
or
on
5
here,
teams on the
okay,
roster.
I see how it is.
2 of which are you're very well known. Levi Wallace is probably the third most well known, and then you have 2 other guys, Chris Owens and J.C. Hassenauer, but you probably haven't heard of either one of them. When I do remember a while back that when the Steelers signed him, I was happy about it, but I guess I completely forgot. And then he was signing, he was literally right in front of me, and I was like, "You didn't go to Bama." And he was like, he just looked right back at me. He's like, "You must not recognize me." And I was like.
Dude, that locker room must have been so funny. He must have walked in and be like, "Man, I signed some kid's shirt," and he literally said, "I didn't go to Bama." He had no idea who he was. I was like,
he caught
one season, so that's cool.
He got an interception. He caught an interception from Mac Jones against the Patriots when they routed them 47-17.
Totally just season.
Yeah,
hold that.
I was kind of pissed at that. Then I had the jersey or the shirt right there. Well, no. Minka was injured anyways. He was in, and then he also started to sign some other stuff. And there's actually, I felt really bad for this one kid. So there's this one kid. He traveled from Indiana.
How dare that person try and go do their job?
Legitimately traveled from Indiana. He said he was 7 hours. So he brought. He was wearing a TJ Watt jersey, and he had another TJ Watt jersey that was his mom's.
Oh.
So, his mom was like apparently giving him like a hard time, like kind of in a joking way, probably kind of also like, somewhat serious about like, you better get a TJ Watt signature. And TJ Watt was literally he was literally so close by. And I was like, hey, because I didn't have anything for TJ Watt to sign. I'm not going to get him to sign a Najee Harris jersey.
Yeah.
Like on Friday, I'll probably come prepared with like other stuff. But like, I was like, hey, do you want me to take a picture of like, him signing stuff for you? And TJ Watt is literally right there. And then he signs the stuff and then he goes into a different section of the crowd. And I'm like, dang, that's tough, bro. Like, that is very tough. Exactly. Exactly. So I was like, I looked at him and was like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, that's
so he's like going through everybody signing it, and then right as he's about to get to the kid, he just walks to another group.
Apparently tomorrow and on Friday.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
Like when I say kid, he was probably close to like our age. So like, I mean, yeah.
Oh,
in tears.
Oh my god.
No. Like this was his first
like,
training
still.
camp, so I felt bad.
That's
for
like
that.
I thought it was like a little
12-year-old.
You'll probably think I'm awful for this.
I thought this was like a middle schooler, like the first time they're doing like anything for the NFL.
Yeah,
they got
exactly.
They got
signature, and he
like,
just walks away.
Like paraphernalia for them, and I was just sitting there, totally jealous, as I would be. Yeah. No paraphernalia. That's like.
Pick your next words carefully,
dog.
Paraphernalia?
That's a thing, Raj. Move on.
Memorabilia.
Yeah, that's
well,
sports.
It's supposed to be memorabilia, but paraphernalia also works in context, but it's usually used like in context of like drug paraphernalia, like not the drugs themselves.
No, it's
different
besides
things for them.
Okay.
Anyway,
kind of just pissed off. I was like,
sure.
dang, it sucks that I couldn't do it.
There you go.
No, I didn't punch a kid. I was just thinking, like, I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't do anything. I was just thinking. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just, this really sucks. Like, I've known that he was, like, you guys probably knew
would you punch a kid
once he joined the Steelers. I've been watching him like 4 years before.
You tripped him.
Like, even made it. Like,
but you were thinking about it.
At least 3 years before he did it. So. Yeah. So, there was a pause. There was a pause. Anyways, I was just really pissed. Like,
did he play for Alabama?
In college. I've been watching him since his freshman year. Because they were like,
damn, that's crazy.
Like, wow. Pennsylvania. Why would they?
The whole crowd goes crazy.
I was living in Louisiana, so it's at least closer to Alabama.
How do you know that? I love Mississippi. Why are you a Bama fan in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, but I love Mississippi. I was just making sure.
How do you know?
No. You were born in Pennsylvania.
No. But I mean,
you were born in Pennsylvania. Moved to NOLA
wow.
before high school.
Like I've been watching him since his freshman year at Bama. And these kids are like, running back with the, with the stuff that's been signed, and I'm just like, oh well. So, There's a song. There's a song reference I won't say now, but I'll say it like off the pod. I'll say when we're done with the pod. That's basically my experience at training camp. I do anticipate on going not tomorrow but on Friday. So yeah.
I don't even want to know what that is. Okay.
I mean, it's totally.
We hope we can get some fire stories on the next pod episode. Jacob, I will give you kudos for pretty much selling yourself out on the pod.
I mean,
I'll give you a little round of applause.
That is fair.
That was bold, buddy, because I'm going to roast you for the rest of the
your Bama fan
year.
cards on thin ice.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
on thin ice. But you did walk away with an autograph. You walked away with an autograph, which is...
That would have been even worse.
Yes.
Yeah, you did get the bag.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
All right. That's redemption.
Yeah,
That's redemption.
That is fair.
No,
Oh my god!
No, that's
like,
redemption.
Right,
that's redemption.
Jacob, on Friday, you need to, like, when you see him walking down, you need to be like, yo, like, you got to try to, like, be like, yo, Levi, like,
Yeah,
as
you
they
gotta
try each
like,
other and see if he'll be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Because he's going to remember that now, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
people remember weird situations, so he's going to remember when you said he didn't call you a Bama fan. So,
I mean,
like,
some of the
low-key,
players
like,
would be
you might
running
get,
by.
like,
Yeah.
he's going to be the guy that you see, like, at games
there was
sometimes.
Gunnar
Like, yo,
That's a
Levi,
blessing
like,
in
we
disguise
know
because
now.
that's a
walking
story
over
that
the
he'll
crowd,
remember.
and,
So, all right,
They
you're
were
not just another fan.
Exactly.
crowd that was started
Because
saying,
you know he got roasted in the
and
locker
so
room.
like
for that.
cheering
Yeah.
He's
Gunnar.
definitely
Yeah.
gonna remember.
So
Oh yeah.
he was like walking over. He's like, they're like, it's not even Hunter. Like, that's not my name. So yeah, it would be tough. We do not mention Hunter.
Oh.
Renfrow. We do not. It would be a tough day if Hunter Renfrow were to join the Steelers. I don't know that.
What did they think he was Hunter Renfrow? Like, who else would he be?
We don't mention Hunter Renfrow on this podcast.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
Jacob
Oh,
Williams.
sorry. God, I hope he does.
All right, we're getting long here on the podcast. Does anyone have any closing thoughts before we
Stay in
out?
school,
All
kids.
All right. Well, with that said, yeah, make sure you stay in school, attend class. Hope everyone enjoyed this episode. I think it's one of my most fun
Shout out
episodes I think
Levi.
we've ever
Fun
recorded.
ones.
So I had a blast. Make sure you drop a like on the pod. Make sure you follow. Make sure you go to our Instagram. Go down in the link in the description. There's a bunch of our links. Use code WATCH20 at beckup.com.